There's a huge inventory reduction sale going on right now at Carpets Unlimited and Crandall's Home Furnishings. Buy one and get the second furniture item 10% off. Third item 15% off. Fourth item 20% off. And at Carpets Unlimited Berber Carpet $1.39 a square foot installed with pad. Saxony Stainmaster Carpet $1.99 a square foot installed with pad. 18-inch ceramic tiles starting 89 cents a square foot. Laminate 99 cents a square foot. Come in today for the best selection. Crandall's Home Furnishings and Carpets Unlimited in Owensboro. See store for details.
Welcome back. And now, Jim, let's talk about Daviess County going to Calhoun this weekend, playing the McLean County Cougars. This one is an interesting game simply from the standpoint that I think DC can really gain a lot of momentum offensively in this game, and I think it's momentum they need.
Yeah, I do too. I think you really can kind of throw the Owensboro game out because that's just a team that's too strong for Daviess County at this point. I mean, that's fair to say. I think that you will see a revitalization of their offense. I think you'll see a continuation of what you saw a couple of weeks ago against Ohio County when they put 29 points on the board with new quarterback Daviess. He's a sophomore. He's just a very tough player to defend, and he makes those around him better. And I think McLean County will have a hard time with Daviess this week.
It's interesting how putting Crite in there in place of Zach Cox has really just kind of changed the whole complexion of how you view Daviess County. I mean, they just seem more explosive. I know they didn't score last week, but you just feel like they have that potential to break out offensively.
Well, Crite is a very good runner in addition to being a good passer, and I think that gives them a little bit more in terms of diversity there because, I mean, if you've got a quarterback that can run for 95 yards, which he did against, or 98 yards, which he did against Ohio County, that gives you another weapon. And he's also just a smooth passer. He's a lefty, and he's just got potential written all over him, Scott. And I think this is a game where he could really break out.
For McLean County, we just probably looking at this as another learning experience?
I think so. They've been through a lot this year already. And, it's one of those situations where each game is a learning experience. Coach McCammon's doing a good job down there, but they've just they're thin as far as players go, and it's a rebuilding year anyway with the loss of several key seniors from last year. So yeah, you just have to take it 1 week at a time and try to learn something from each game. Yeah.
Well, we got Hancock County going to Breck County. Always huge rivalry game. Yep. Hancock comes in 3-1, Breck 1-3. Breck got their first win last week against Adair County.
Right.
The interesting thing here is Breck beat a decent Hancock team last year, and I'm sure Chris Morris hasn't missed any opportunities to point that out to his Hornets this week. Do you see the Hornets absolutely coming out on fire in this one?
I think that if they're not on fire, something's wrong because last year, we had this picked as a huge Hancock victory. It was in Hallsville, and Breck stunned them. I mean, that's all you can say. They stunned them, and they can make their season again. The thing that Hancock needs to realize is that Breck's now at home, and they're coming off a win, and they can make their season again with another upset of the Hornets. So I'd say Hancock can be focused and take care of business.
We talked about comparing scores earlier. There's one that we can compare here too. Hancock beats Butler by 3 touchdowns last week. Butler beat Breck. So on paper, it looks like it should be a pretty big win for Hancock.
If Hancock's focused, they should win this game.
Union County going to Ohio County. Ohio County, unfortunately, it's hard not to say 23-game losing streak.
Mm-hmm.
They keep tallying up. The Eagles did play really well against Central Hardin last week. Mm-hmm. Can they bring that to another level and do it over Union County this week?
Well, they'll need to bring it to another level because this is a good Union County team. Union County is, like we've talked before, Scott, they're a cyclical team. This year, Union County is very good. They've won 3 in a row after a season opening loss, and they bring a lot of momentum into this game. Now, having said that, Ohio County played what I consider their best game of the year last year. I had a hunch they might because Central Hardin was coming off a big win over E-Town, and I didn't think they would be too focused in this game, but Ohio County played them pretty competitively, and that's a good sign for Coach Houston down there.
Union County in all 3 of their wins have held their opponents under 20 points. That would indicate it's going to be a pretty big test offensively for the Eagles. We know Cody Murphy, just almost as sure as the sun's coming up, is going to get his 100 yards and touchdown on 15, 20 carries. The key, I think, is can they get Derek Griffin going and get the passing game going? They're trying.
Yes,
they're throwing the ball.
Yeah, they are.
But the percentages need to come up.
They need to bring – if Derek Griffin I tell you what, if he's around the 50% mark in this game and throws 20 times, I think that Ohio County will be in it with a chance to pull off an upset. That's how important I think their passing attack is to their success.
And then the last game of the week we're going to talk about is Muhlenberg County going down to Marshall County. And in some ways, I think this really may be the biggest game of the year from a grand scheme of things, because this is a district matchup. I kept getting district in my head earlier because I think I was really focused in on how important this game is. Do you agree? Muhlenberg has to win this game to make the playoffs.
Yes. I think they need to win this game, and I think that this is a game they can win. Marshall County, usually they're pretty tough at home. They're going to try to move the chains with ball control offense. That's what Muhlenberg County will face here. They're going to have to get some stops and if they can get some stops and rev up their skill people in this game, which I still like. I still like their skill people, even though they're winless after 4 games. They have a chance to win down at Marshall County, and yes, indeed, it would be a huge boost district-wise, but it would also be a huge boost just from a confidence standpoint for Muhlenberg County, because I think this is a team that at some point, Scott's going to break out and win one we don't expect them to win,
right.
and that could come this week.
Muhlenberg played Edmondson fairly tough last week. Marshall, coming off its first win, got a win over Russellville by just 1 point, 15-14. But I think that's deceiving, the fact that they're 1-3. They've lost to Mayfield, they've lost to Lone Oak, and they've lost to an Evansville-Bosse team that's wound up being better than most people thought it would be.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they've played tough competition.
They
so
have.
I think 1-3, you might have to throw that record out a little bit. But what do you think it comes down to? Can Muhlenberg put points on the board, or can they stop Marshall?
Well, I think that Muhlenberg can put points on the board. What I think it comes down to is that how many opportunities will they be given? And here's what I mean by that. If Marshall County historically is a ball control offense that moves the chains, and if they're allowed to do that, Muhlenberg County's defense has been leaky most of this season. And if Marshall's allowed to just control the game on the ground, then I see it going Marshall County's way. But if Muhlenberg County can force them to 3 and out a few times, that's going to give them more chances to score and in better field position, and they've got a chance to win this game.
Well, a big issue, and maybe more so with Muhlenberg than a lot of teams we have, because it seems like turnovers has just killed Muhlenberg. Yeah. You can't give Marshall County 15 opportunities to your 8 or whatever. I mean, you can't be giving them just chance after chance after chance in good field position. And usually turnovers is giving the team the ball in good field position.
I agree.
So, I mean, what about this aspect, though? This is Muhlenberg's 3rd district game. Nobody else in the district has played a district game, have played a district game at this point, other than obviously the teams they've played against. Huge disadvantage for Muhlenberg to be playing their district slate so early in the schedule.
A little bit of a disadvantage for them because they're such a new program. I know, last year was their first year as a program, and I think that's a disadvantage a little bit. But you have to play the hand that's dealt you, and I'll say this clearly: this is a game they can win. I mean, this is not a dominating type of opponent, and I know they're going down deep in Western Kentucky to play this game, but if they are efficient and take care of the football, they can win it.
Okay, prediction time.
Okay.
Put you on the spot.
Okay.
Catholic at Apollo.
Well, I'm going to go with Catholic. I saw them last week against South Spencer, and they appear to have just far too many weapons for Apollo at this point.
Yes, I totally agree with that. Bowling Green at Owensboro.
Great game. I look forward to this every year. It's really one of the marquee games in the state every year they play, every time they play.
2 versus 5.
Yeah, and they've just got a great storied history.
Yes.
They love to play each other, and this will be a battle royal. I've heard talk in town, Scott, this week about possible blowout by Bowling Green. I don't see it. I do not see it. I think Owensboro's pride, as they showed in the Wrights game, in the Border Bowl, will rise up here, but I'm picking the Purples by a touchdown.
I got Purples probably by 2. DC at McLean.
Daviess County will roll in this game.
Hancock at Bragg.
Well, Hancock will win this game if they're focused, and I'm picking them to win, but they do need to be focused. Breck loves to beat the Hornets.
They do, but I think Hancock will come in just ultra-focused. Okay. Union at Ohio.
I've got Union. They're on too much of a roll. They've got too many weapons, and like you talked about earlier, their defense is excellent.
Yeah, I totally agree. And then, of course, Muhlenberg at Marshall.
Well, winnable game for Muhlenberg, but I'm going to go with a home team in this case. I'm going to go with Marshall County by a touchdown.
I totally agree with that, too. Well, that's it for today. Friday's paper. Look for a full preview of the Owensboro Catholic Apollo game. I just think there's so many different angles to that is what makes that game interesting.
No doubt.
And you also did a feature on the Owensboro High School defensive line.
Right.
That I think will
Great
be
bunch of guys.
interesting.
I
Yes.
tell you, I really enjoyed talking to them.
Yeah. And we also have capsules of all the other games to give you the pertinent information on those. So I guess that's it for this week. We'll be back at 2 o'clock Monday to see how all these turned out. Until then, thanks for watching.